Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We studying Mujarrad and Mazid verbs in this lesson number 16. Mujarrad is just that the verb that has the three root letters, and the new more verb forms are created by adding some more letters. Like by adding one letter, these three verb forms are created, like fa'ala, alif after fa kalima, fa'ala, and the doubling of the middle letter, and af'ala, hamza before the before fa'ala. So we studied this group, which is addition of one letter. Now we're gonna study this group, which is addition of two letters to the mujarrad verb, like the fa'ala. Here we are adding ta and alif. So basically this is this verb form is we can make this verb form by adding ta to this one, the fa'ala, and this the fa'ala is by adding ta before this verb form. And then in this group we have in fa'ala, which is adding alif and noon before fa'ala, and if ta'ala, here we are adding alif and ta, alif kalima and then ta after fa kalima. And then if Allah, which here we are adding alif and the another lam kalima. So this group is by we can make these verb forms by adding two letters, and then there is another one which is after adding three letters, like istafala. Here we are adding the first three letters. So let's get started with the verb forms where we have the two additional letters. So af'alul mazidatu bi harfaini, the mazid verbs with two additional letters. Like I said, tafa'ala, which is the past tense, and in this group here are some examples. Watanawala, so this verb is tanawala yatanavalu. Tanawala is means to eat. Watanawala futurahu, and he ate his breakfast. And then another example is watajazaba atraf al hadisi. So this verb is tajazaba yatajazabu. Again, this falls in the same group and means to engage. So this is tajazaba. So they both engaged in a conversation atraf al hadisi. These examples are from the main lesson, which you're going to study next time. So asharhu, this is the explanation. Hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun. This is the fe'l mazid. Ala wazni, on the pattern of tafa'ala, on this pattern. Wa huwa fil madi, and this is for the past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin. So this pattern we can make by adding two additional letters, huma ta qabla fa al fe'li, adding ta before the fa of the verb, wa and alif badahu after fa. So we are adding ta before fa and alif after fa. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasrif fil fe'l al mujarrad fil madi, and the conjugation of this verb is not different than the conjugation of the mujarrad verb in the past tense. We're gonna do the conjugation after. So this was for the past tense tafa'ala, and in the present is yatafa'alu. So here is an example. Tuyurul hakli tatakafazu huna wa hunaka ka annaha tatajawabu mahum. So here we have two verbs of this group, tafa'ala, yatafa'alu. So this one is, so this is tatakafazu, and the past tense is takafaza yatakafazu. Takafaza yatakafazu means to hope or to jump. So watuyurul hakli, the birds of the field, tatakafazu, they were hopping or jumping. Huna wa hunaka, here and there. Ka'annaha, as like if they. Tatajawabu, so this is the another verb of this group, which is tajawaba yatajawabu, same like tafa'ala yatafa'alu. Tajawabu, to respond, as if they was responding mahum, with them. Again, this is from the main lesson we're gonna study after, but here just to show the use of this these type of verbs. So the explanation of the present tense of this group is hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun ala wazni yatafa'alu. This verb is a mazid verb on the pattern of yatafa'alu, wa huwa fil mudari, and this is in the case of the present tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin, and here we are adding two additional letters, huma ta, which is ta qabl al fa'il fe'li, before the fa kalima of the verb, wa alif ba'dahu, and alif after it. So again, ya we know is harfu mudare, and then ta is the we are adding, and alif we are adding. Wa harful mudare fi hazal wazni maftuhun, and the harful mudare in this case is has a fatha. Wa ainul fe'li maftuhan aidan, and the an kalima is also has a fatha. In the first group, in the where we were adding one letter, fa'ala yafa'alu, fa'ala yufa'ilu, fa'ala yufa'ilu, af'ala yufilu. So in this case, you know that we were adding the harful mudare was getting dhamma, like fa'ala yufa'ilu, and the and kalima was getting kasra. Similarly, fa'ala yufa'ilu, the harfu mudare was getting dhamma, and this and kalima was getting kasra. Af'ala yufilu, similarly same, the harfu mudare was getting dhamma, and kalima was getting kasra. So here we are saying that tafa'ala yatafa'alu, the harfu mudare, the beginning letter is getting fatha, and the an kalima is also getting fatha. So this is the difference. So it's easy to remember that this group where we adding one letter, the harfu mudare will get dhamma, and the an kalima will get kasra. So here is harful mudare is getting fatha, and wa ainul fe'li and an kalima is also getting fatha. So yatafa'alu, ya has a fatha and an has a fatha. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasriful fe'l mujarrad fil mudari, and the conjugation is the same as the fe'l mujarrad in the case of a present tense. So here we have the conjugation takafaza yatakafazu, that we had in this example, takafaza yatakafazu, to hope or jump. So here we have the conjugation of this verb. So again I'm gonna do starting from the third person masculine, then feminine, then second person masculine feminine, and the first person. So the third person masculine, huwa takafaza, huma takafaza, hum takafazu, hiya takafazat, huma takafazata, hunna takafazna. And then the second person masculine, anta takafasta, antuma takafastuma, antum takafastum, anti takafasti, antuma takafastuma, antunna takafastunna, ana takafastu, nahnu takafazna. That was the past tense on the pattern of tafa'ala. And on the pattern for the fail mudare present tense, we're gonna do the third person masculine, huwa yatakafazu, huma yatakafazani, hum yatakafazuna, hiya tatakafazu, huma tatakafazani, hunna. This is again a typo here. Here it should be yatakafazna, yatakafazna, because tatakafazna is for antunna. And now for the second person masculine, anta tatakafazu, antuma tatakafazani, antum tatakafazuna, anti tatakafazina, antuma tatakafazani, antunna tatakafazna. So here is yatakafazna, here is tatakafazna. Ana atakafazu, nahnu natakafazu. So this is the conjugation of this group. We can, on the same conjugation, any verb on this pattern we can conjugate. Okay, next is tafa'ala. So just like fa'ala, we added ta and it became tafa'ala. Now we fa'ala. Now we adding ta before the fa'ala, it becomes tafa'ala. Examples are here. Taharrakal kitaru fi sa'atil ashiratu. So this is the verb taharraka yataharraku on the pattern of tafa'ala yatafa'alu. So taharrakal kitaru, the train, it departed fi sa'atil ashirati, 10 o'clock. Here is another example. Fatawakkafa anil hadisi. So this is the verb tawakkafa. I have a typo here, so it is tawakkafa yatawakkafu, to stop. Tawakkafa yatawakkafu on the pattern of tafa'ala yatafa'alu. So, and they stopped talking. Fatawakkafa, they both stopped talking. Anil hadisi. The explanation of this tafa'ala. Hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun ala wazni tafa'ala. This verb is fe'l mazid on the pattern of tafa'ala. Wa huwa fe'lul madi, and this is for the case of the past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin, and this is on the pattern of having two additional letters. Huma, they are ta qabla fa'il fe'li, before the fa of the fa kalima, fa of the verb. And washaddatu, shadda means doubling of an kalima fawqa an al fe'li. So by just saying shadda here, we mean that we are adding another an kalima. So just like taharraka, doubling ra and adding ta. Tawakkafa, adding ta and doubling ka. Tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasrif al fi'l mujarrad fil madi, and the conjugation of this verb is same as the fi'l mujarrad. Now this was the past tense, and the present tense is tafa'ala yatafa'alu. So here we have example. Fattaha tatafattahu. Tafattaha yatafattahu. So we are adding ta before fattaha. Tafattaha yatafattahu, to open. Wazzuhura tafattahu, and the flowers were blooming or opening. Liyatamakkana min mushahadatil hukuli. So this is the verb tamakkana yatamakkanu. Tamakkana yatamakkanu. Tamakkana yatamakkanu, to make it possible. Tamakkana yatamakkanu, same like tafa'ala yatafa'alu. Liyatamakkana min mushahadatil hukuli. So this is again from the lesson that they were sitting by the window of the train, in the train, just to have the observation of the field. Min mushahadatil hukuli, to observe or to see the fields. They were going to countryside, so they wanted to see the outside. So mushahadatil hukuli, to see the fields. So explanation of the fail mudare. Hazal failu huwa failun mazidun ala wazni yatafa'alu. This verb is on the pattern. This verb is fail madid on the pattern of yatafa'alu. Wa huwa fil mudare, and this is for the case of the present tense. Wa hazal waznu bi harfa ziyadatin, and this pattern is adding two additional letters. Huma, they are ta qabla fa'il fe'li, ta before the fa kalima of the verb. Washaddatu fawqa ainal fe'li, and doubling of the an kalima. Wa harful mudarati fi hazal wazni maftuhun, and the harful mudare is again maftu, has a fatha. and anul faili maftuhatun aidan, and the an kalima has a fatha also. So again is the same thing, where same like the last one. Tafa'ala yatafa'alu, the harful mudare is getting fatha and an kalima getting fatha. So this is the same thing here. Tafa'ala yatafa'alu, harful mudare ya getting fatha here and an kalima also getting fatha. Here we have the conjugation for a verb tafattaha yatafattahu. So starting from third person masculine, huwa tafattaha, huma tafattaha, hum tafattahu, hiya tafattahat, huma tafattahata, hunna tafattahna, anta tafattahta, antuma tafattahtuma, antum tafattahtum, anti tafattahti, antuma tafattahtuma, antunna tafattahtunna, ana tafattahtu, nahnu tafattahna. And for present tense, huwa yatafattahu, huma yatafattahani, hum yatafattahuna, hiya tatafattahu, huma tatafattahani, hunna yatafattahna. So this is the third person. Second person masculine, anta tafattahu, antuma tafattahani, antum tafattahuna. Second person feminine, anti tafattahina, antuma tafattahani, antunna tafattahna. First person, ana attafattahu, nahnu natafattahu. So the conjugation is same like we have for the mujarrad verb. This next one is in fa'ala. So now in this group we adding alif and noon and the beginning of the fa'ala. Just like you see in talaka ila baiti kamalin, and he went to Kamal's house. So here the verb is in talaka yantaliku, to go quickly, zahaba bisuratin, just like zahaba bisuratin, to go quickly. So in this group, hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun ala wazni in fa'ala. This verb is the fe'l mazid verb on the pattern of in fa'ala, wa huwa fil madi, and this is for the case of the past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin, and this is by adding this pattern is by adding two letters, huma, they are in. So we adding in before aliful wasli wan nuni. So aliful wasli and nuni and one nunu kabla fa'il fe'li, before the fa kalima of the verb. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasriful fe'lul mujarrad fil madi. So the conjugation is the same. And for mudare, in fa'ala yan fa'ilu. So here an kalima is getting kasra, but the harful mudare will remain fatah. And they watched al-fallahina, the farmers, yansarifuna, leaving, aidina, returning, ila biyutihim, returning to their homes. So again, countryside at the sunset time, the farmers were leaving the fields and they were going their homes. So here is in sarafa yansarifu, in sarafa yansarifu, in sarafa yansarifu. So here is the an kalma will get kasra, in sarafa yansarifu, just like in fa'ala yanfailu, in sarafa yansarifu. So now the explanation of this verb is hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun ala wazni yanfailu. This verb is fe'lun mazidun on the pattern of yanfailu, wa huwa fil mudare, and this is for fe'l mudare. Wa hazal for waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin. So this pattern is with two additional letters, huma, they are in alif noon, aliful wasli, aliful wasl and noon qabla fa'il fe'li, before the fa of the verb. Wa harful mudari'ati fi hazal wazni maftuhun, harful mudari is maftuh, again same thing. Wa ainul fe'li maksuratun, and an kalima gets kasra ba'da an nahzifa aliful wasli, and in the fe'l mudari the aliful wasl is just like in fa'ala. We said we are adding two letters, but this alif is omitted in the case of the present tense. In fa'ala yanfailu, so we don't see that alif, and kalima gets kasra after omitting that aliful wasli. وتصريف هذا الوزن ليس مختلفا عن تصريف الفعل المجرد في المضارع, and again the conjugation is not different, is the same. Here is an example, in fa'ala yanfa'ilu. So we taking the example of in sarafa yansarifu, huwa in sarafa, third person masculine, huma in sarafa, hum in sarafu, hiya in sarafat, huma in sarafata, hunna in sarafna. Now second person masculine, anta in sarafta, antuma in saraftuma, antum in saraftum. Second person feminine, anti in sarafti, antuma in saraftuma, antunna in saraftunna, ana. First person, ana in saraftu, nahnu in sarafna. And for the present tense, third person masculine, huwa yansarifu, hum yansarifani, hum yansarifuna. Third person feminine, hiya tansarifu, huma tansarifani, hunna yansarifna. Second person masculine, anta tansarifu, antuma tansarifani, antum tansarifuna. Second person feminine, anti tansarifina, antuma tansarifani, antunna tansarifna. And first person, ana ansarifu, nahnu nansarifu. Now we go to if ta'ala. Here we are adding hamza, this alif of wasl at the beginning, and ta, the two letters, the two additional letters. So here are some examples of the past tense if ta'ala of this group. Iktaraba yaktaribu, to approach. Hatta iktarabal kitaru minal kariyati, until the train approached from the minal kariyati, from the village. And here is vamtalat bitiyuril aidati ila ashashiha. So this verb is imtala yamtali, again on this pattern. Ifta'ala yaftailu, yaftailu. So is like imtala yamtaliyu, but is to make it easy, we just say that imtala yamtali, to fill. Vamtalat bitiyuril aidati. So this is again talking about the sunset. The sky was filled with the returning birds, ila ashashiha, and returning to their nests. Explanation. Hazal failu huwa failun mazidun ala wazni ifta'ala. This verb is on failun mazidun on pattern of ifta'ala, wa huwa fil madi, and this is for past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin, and this pattern is adding two letters, huma, they are aliful wasli, alif, qabla al fa'il faili, before the fa of the fail, wa ta badahu, and ta after it. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasriful fail mujarrad fil madi, and the conjugation is not different than the conjugation of the mujarrad in the case of the past tense. Al mudare, so mudare is on the pattern of yaftailu, ifta'ala yaftailu, just like the last one. Well, this whole group where we are adding two letters, the harful mudare will get fatha, but in this one and like the last one, an kalma is getting kasra. So here is an example of this verb, ishtaraka yashtariku, to share or to participate. Ishtaraka yashtariku. So wattabi'atu kullaha tashtariku maha. Again, this is from the main lesson, that the nature, all of it, when in the springtime the birds are chirping and the flowers are blooming, the trees are turning green. So it's like the nature, all of it is sharing tashtariku maha, with the weather, with it, to share, to participate. So now the explanation of this, the present tense of this group, which is yaftailu. Hazal failu huwa failun mazidun ala wazni yaftailu. This verb is fail madid ala wazni on the pattern of yaftailu, wa huwa fail mudare. and this is for the case of mudare. Wahazal waznu bihi harfa ziyadatin, and this is again the pattern has these two additional letters, huma alif aliful wasli qabla fa'il fi'li, before fa of the verb, and ta ba'dahu, ta after fa. Harful mudarati fi hazil wazni maftuhun, and harful mudare gets fatah, less like here, yaftailu. Wa ainul fi'li maksuratun, and an kalama is getting kasra again because we are omitting alfal wasli, because this we are omitting the one particle of the, which is the alif here. So when we omit that alif, then an kalima gets the kasra. Ifta'ala yaftailu. So we have a conjugation here of this verb, just like the same word, ishtaraka yashtariku. So starting from the third person masculine, huwa ishtaraka, huma ishtaraka, hum ishtaraku. Third person masculine, huwa ishtaraka, huma ishtaraka, hum ishtaraku. Third person feminine, hiya ishtarakat, huma ishtarakata, hunna ishtarakna. And the second person masculine, anta ishtarakta, antuma ishtaraktuma, antum ishtaraktum. Second person feminine, anti ishtarakti, antuma ishtaraktuma, antunna ishtaraktunna. First person, ana ishtaraktu, nahnu ishtarakna. For the case of present tense, again starting from the third person masculine, huwa yashtariku, huma yashtarikani, hum yashtarikuna, hiya tashtariku, huma tashtarikani, hunna yashtarikna. And then the second person, anta tashtariku, antuma tashtarikani, antum tashtarikuna. Feminine, anti tashtarikina, antuma tashtarikani, antunna tashtarikna. Ana ashtariku, nahnu nashtariku. So this was the of this group where we are adding two letters. This is the fourth verb. Now we have another one, the last one, which is if Allah. So we adding alif and then doubling the lam kalima. The example here is waqad tamarrat as-samau, and the sky, again this is sunset time, and the sky turned red. So this use for the colors. Ihmarra, so the verb is ihmarra yahmarru. Ihmarra yahmarru. So ihmarra yahmarru, to become or to be red. So the sky at the sunset, it gets red. So the explanation here is hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lun mazidun ala wazni if Allah. This verb is fe'l madin on pattern of if Allah, wa huwa fil madi, and this is for the case of the past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihiya harfa ziyadatin, and this pattern is with two additional letters, huma, they are alif, which is alful wasli, qabla fa'al fe'li, before the fa kalima of the fail, wa shaddatu ala lamil faili, and the shadda on the lam kalima means doubling the lam kalima. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasrif al fail al mujarrad fil madi, and the conjugation is of this verb is not different than the fail mujarrad in the case of past tense. But wala nansa, but remember that annahu failun mudaf, that the conjugation of this is same like the fail mudaf. The fail mudaf is the one that has second and third letters same, like kassa yakusu, to narrate. So kassa is to kaf, sad, those are the second and the third letters are same in this root. So this conjugation is the same as that, and the conjugation of this verb is not given, so I have conjugated this verb ihmarra. So for the past tense, huwa ihmarra, huma, again starting from the third person masculine, huwa ihmarra, huma ihmarra, hum ihmarru, hiya ihmarrat, huma ihmarrata, hunna ihmararna. So that is why this is mentioned here, that this is fail mudaf, because when we reach here at hunna, the doubling that breaks, like huma ihmar, hiya ihmarrat, huma ihmarrata. So we see the doubling here until we reach hunna, then the doubling breaks. So we have the two Ra's separate. Ihmararna. And then from here it goes like for the second person masculine. Anta ihmararta, antuma ihmarartuma, antum ihmarartum, anti ihmararti, antuma ihmarartuma, antunna ihmarartunna, ana ihmarartu, nahnu ihmararna. So this is the mudaf that the doubling breaks after hunna. And this was for the case of past tense. Wabadatil ashjaru, and the trees begin to takhzaru, turn green. So hazal fe'lu huwa fe'lu mazidun ala wazni yaf'allu, if Allah yaf'allu, wa huwa fe'l mudari. So this verb is on the pattern fe'lu mazidun, the pattern of yaf'allu for the case of fe'l mudari. Wa hazal waznu bihi, and this hazal waznu bihi harfu ziyadatin. This pattern is adding two letters. Huma, they are alif, aliful wasli, qabla al fa'il fe'li, before the fa of the verb of the fail. Wa shaddatu ala lam al fe'li, and shadda on the lam al fe'li, on the lam kalima. Wa harful muzarati fi hazal wazni maftuhun, and in the whole group the harful mudara is getting fatha. Wa ainul fe'li maftuhatun ba'da an tahziful aliful wasli, and then ain kalima is getting fatha after we remove aliful wasli. So some of the ain kalima they get fatha, some get kasra, but all this the whole all the verbs with of the two letters, the harful mudari gets the fatha. وتصريف هذا الوزن ليس مختلفا عن تصريف الفعل المجرد في المضارع, and the conjugation of this verb is the same as of the فعل مجرد. And this, don't forget that فعل مضاف, this is the, if we are saying that this the conjugation is same, means the conjugation of the same as of the mudaf verb. So I have the conjugation of the present tense also here. Huwa yakhmaru, which is on the pattern of yaf'allu. So huwa yakhmaru, huma yakhmarrani, hum yakhmarruna, third person masculine. Then the second person, he is third person feminine. Hiya takhmarru, huma takhmarrani, hunna yakhmarirna, anta takhmarru, antuma takhmarrani, antum takhmarruna, anti takhmarrina, antuma takhmarrani, antunna takhmarirna, ana akhmarru, nahnu nakhmarru. So this is how this verb form is conjugated. So there was the all the verb forms adding two letters. So now we have just one form adding the three letters. So al af'alul mazidatu bi salasati hurufin, with the addition of three letters. And the example here is istaf'ala. This group is istaf'ala yastaf'ilu. Istaf'ala yastaf'ilu. So here is the example. Here is istaykaza yastaykazu, to wake up. Fis sabahi istaykaza Muhammadun mubakkaran. In the morning Muhammad woke up early. Fastawkafa taksiyan wa zahaba bihi ila mahattatil kitari. And he so was tawkafa, so this for two, they had the taxi, they stopped the taxi and they went to the train station. So here the verb is istaw, I think is a typo here again, istawkafa. Istawkafa yes istawkafa yastawkifu. Istawkafa yastawkifu, to stop. Same like on the pattern of istaf'ala yastafilu. So first Tawkafa taxiyan, so they stopped the taxi wazahaba and they went to by it to the train station. So the explanation is hazal failu huwa failun mazidun ala wazni istafala. This verb is failun mazidun on the pattern of istafala wa huwa fil madi, and this is for the case of the past tense. Wa hazal waznu bihi, and this pattern is with salasatu hurufin, 3 letters, ziyadatin, extra letters, hiya, ist, alif, sin and ta. So basically if you take any fail mujarrad fa'ala, add alif sin and ta before it, and it becomes this group istafala. Aliful wasli, alif of wasal, wasinu and sin, watau and ta, qabla fa'al faili, before the fa of the verb. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasriful fail mujarrad fil madi, and the conjugation is the same as the fail mujarrad. And for the case of mudare, this istaf'ala yastaf'ilu, so is same like istamta'a yastamtiyu, to enjoy, istamta'a yastamtiyu. So we see 3 letters is alif, sin and ta. Liyastamtiya, so again this is for 2, tamtiya, bihawa irrifi rifin nazifi, so that they both enjoy the clean air of the countryside. Bihawa irrifin nazifi, clean countryside air. Hazal fail huwa failun mazidun ala wazni yastafilu, this verb is fail madid on the pattern of yastafilu wa huwa fail madare. This is for the case of fail madare. Wa hazal waznu bihi salasatu harufi ziyadatin hiya, and this pattern is with the additional letters, they are alif, sin and ta. Aliful wasli, aliful wasal, sin, wasinu and sin and watau, qabla fa'al faili. Wa harful mudarati fi hazal wazni maftuhun. So the harful mudare for adding 2 letters or 3 letters, they all are maftu, they have a fatah, just like yastafilu. Wa ainul faili maksuratun, and the an kalima here gets the kasra ba'da an nahzifa alful wasal, and alif of wasal is omitted. So istaf'ala yastafilu, we don't see that alif, this is omitted. Wa tasrifu hazal wazni laysa mukhtalifan an tasriful fail mujarrad fil mudare, and the conjugation of this is not different than the fail mujarrad for the in mudare. So here is one example here of the conjugation istaf'ala yastafilu. So is istamta'a yastamtiyu, to enjoy. So again starting from the third person masculine, huwa istamta'a, huma istamta'a, hum istamta'u, hiya istamta'at, huma istamta'ata, hunna istamtana. Second person anta istamta'ata, antuma istamtatuma, antum istamtatum, anti istamtati, antuma istamtatuma, antunna istamtatunna, ana istamtatu, nahnu istamtana. And for the case of mudare, yastamtiyu, huwa yastamtiyu, huma yastamtiyani, hum yastamtiyuna, hiya tastamtiyu, huma tastamtiyani, hunna yastamtina, anta tastamtiyu, antuma tastamtiyani, antum tastamtiyuna, anti tastamtiina, antuma tastamtiyani, antunna tastamtina, ana astamtiyu, nahnu nastamtiyu. So that was all the verb forms after adding 2 letters and the 3 letter. The adding 1 letter we did last time. So just one last thing, failul amr, how we make failul amr, the commanding verb from these verb forms. Failul amr min al mazidi fi lugat al arabiyya daiman indahu nafsal khatuwati. So fail amr in the mazid fail is in the Arabic language is always on the same steps. So these are the steps. Number 1, mudare. We know the commanding verb has to be the mudare, and then jasmul mudare. Number 2 is jasmul mudare. Make that the fail mudare, make that majzoom, and then hazfu harfil mudare, and then omit the harful mudare. And iza kana al harful awwalu sakinan, and then if the after removing harful mudare, if the first letter is having a sukoon, then naktubu alif al wasli qabla, then we add alif al wasl. So here is an example. Here are two examples. One where the after omitting harf al mudare, the first letter is getting a sukoon and we adding alif al wasl, and in the second case the after omitting the first letter is not having a sukoon, so we don't need to add alif there. So let's take the first one which we have just studied now here, istamta yastamtiyu. So first of all we need to take, we can only give command to in the present tense, in the present form. We can't give command in the past tense. So we have to, if we have to give a command, we have to be in the present tense, and we can only give command to the second person. So we can't give command to the person who is not here, or we can't give command to ourselves. So this huwa, hiya, huma, this group is out, this group is out. So only this group is left, anta. So we starting from here, anta, anti, antuma, antum, antunna, tastamtiyu, tastamtaina, tastamtiani, tastamtiuna, tastamtina. So the first step is done. We taken the second person and the fail mudare. So now the second step is jazmul mudare, make that majzoom. So tastamtiyu will become tastamti, tastamtiina become tastamtii, noun is omitted. Tastamtiani is tastamtiya, noun is omitted, because those are the five verbs. Tastamtiuna, tastamtiu, noun is omitted. Tastamtina, this does not change. Tastamtina, antunna. So this is how we make the fail mudare majzoom. So now the third step is we have to omit harful mudare. So we see the ta here, we have to omit here. So ta is removed, and then after removing ta, the first letter after ta is having a sukoon. So now in this case we can't pronunciate any of these words. So what we do, then we add alif al wasl. So we add alif al wasl here. So then for anta, the fail, the amar is istamte, istamte. For anti, istamtii, antuma, istamtiya, antum, istamtiyu, and then antunna, istamtina. So this is how failul amar is formed. And now take this example, shahada yushahidu. So we taking now the second person only. Anta tushahidu, antuma tushahidani, antum tushahiduna, anti tushahidina, antuma tushahidani, antunna tushahidna. So we taking this group, second person. First step is make it majzoom. So tushahidu is tushahid, tushahidina is tushahidi, tushahidani is tushahida, tushahiduna is tushahidu, tushahidna is tushahidna, it doesn't change. And then harful mudare is omitted, omit that ta here. So ta is removed, and then we can see that we can still pronunciate because the next letter does not have a sukoon, just was in this group. So now we can pronunciate it like shahid, shahidi, shahida, shahidu, shahidna. So that is why we don't have to add any alif failu amrin. So that completes the concept of this lesson. So next time we're gonna study the main lesson, and we'll do the exercises after it. So I'm going to stop it here. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.